Happy to meet you once again at the start of the new week. Wishing you a very pleasant morning and a great week ahead. I'm sure this week is going to be a week of blessing for all of you. God is going to give you blessings, and it is going to be a week filled with a deeper learning, deeper discipline, and deeper commitment from your side towards online classes. We begin the day with a thought. And I would like to pose a thought from the light of a person called Saint Bernard. Saint Bernard was born in France. And to quote an experience from the life of Bernard would be very interesting. Saint Bernard was born in a very rich family, and he had four elder brothers and one elder sister. His father and mother were blessed by God with lot of riches, and they had lot of property, and they had a very good future to look for. But they were very much molded in their Christian faith, very devout, very pious, and they had ambitions to serve God totally. One day, when the siblings had a conversation, all the elders wanted to communicate something to the youngest. Saint Bernard was the youngest child in the family, and therefore his brothers and his elder sister together wanted to communicate something to him. And therefore they came close, cajoled him, and began to speak to him in a very affectionate way. And later on they told him, Bernard, Bernard, we want to give you a good news. And Bernard was surprised. What good news are they going to communicate? And all of them were around Bernard, the youngest, the Benjamin of the family. And Bernard was eagerly waiting for their communication. And they said, one of them took lead and said, we have decided to serve God. We have decided to serve God. And so we want you to be the caretaker of all the property that belongs to us and to our family. We want to serve God, and we want to gather eternal riches. And therefore, we are entrusting to you to look after, and we want you to be the caretaker of earthly riches on behalf of the family. I'm sure if that would have been the option given to you, if you had a family of that sort, you would have said, yes, thank you very much. And you could have taken all the property and had a nice future and a very good time in life. But you know what was the response of Bernard? Bernard said, you people want to serve God and want to gain eternal riches. And you all want to gain eternal riches, but you just want me to gain earthly riches. Impossible. Eternal riches are the ones which cannot be stolen by anyone, which belongs to God and which cannot be eroded, corroded, or cannot be stolen. And therefore, I wish to serve God, and I too want to go in search of that eternal riches, and I am not going to be bound by these earthly riches. A beautiful example of siblings who had higher ambitions in life. They were not bound to things which are earthly, today, here and now, riches, wealth, power, position. No. They were worried about God. They were worried about the blessing that God can give them when they are totally at God's service. They were worried about eternal riches and not earthly riches which will pass away, which will get destroyed, which has a time limit, which has an end. They were working for an infinite riches. How wonderful it would be to have such brothers and sister in our family. The thought that I would like to give for you today is this. Company of good people is like walking into a shop of perfumes. Whether you buy the perfumes or not, you are bound to receive the fragrance. I repeat the thought. Company of good people is like walking into a shop of perfumes. Whether you buy the perfumes or not, you are bound to receive the fragrance. The example that I placed before you was a perfect model of a good company of brothers and sisters. They were perfumes who were affecting each other, who had an impact on each other, and therefore, even when all the elder ones wanted Bernard to remain at home and look after the earthly riches, he was affected by the perfume of the others, and he opted together with them to look for eternal riches. Company of good people is like walking into a shop of perfumes. Whether you buy the perfumes or not, you are bound to receive the fragrance. So, dear students, beware of the company in which you live, in which you relate. Your future depends on your company. Good people, good future. Bad people, bad company will be a big hindrance for you in the future towards your growth. So, having seen a beautiful thought for the beginning of a new day, at the beginning of a new day and a new week, it's time for test. In other words, it's test time. Having seen Unit 1, it is good to review in and through a small test. So please take your copies and be set to complete the class test. 24th August 2020, class test. I will read the questions once, after which you can pause the video, complete the class test, and proceed with the rest of the lecture. Question number 1. Attempt to form a sentence each from the following words. Meaning you need to use the words which are given and try to form a sentence each. Downpour, crest, soul, exclaimed, resemble, solitary, conscience, commented, evident, affixed. Question number 2. What made the postmaster decide to do something for Lencho? Question number 3. Have you missed an opportunity to help someone in life? Explain the reasons. Question number 4. Write a short note on Robert Frost. Question number 5. What have you learned from the poem Dust and Snow? Question number 6. Do you really agree with the author that desire and hatred could be self-destructive? State the reasons. So all the best. Do well. After you complete, kindly continue with the rest of the lesson. We are entering into a new week, and we have completed a week of English classes, and we have completed unit number 1. And as we begin a new week, we are entering into unit number 2, titled Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. The title of the lesson suggests that Long Walk to Freedom is autobiography of Nelson Mandela. The title of the lesson, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. The title itself suggests that this is an autobiography written by Nelson Mandela himself with the title Long Walk to Freedom. The title suggests it is an autobiography, and you may be having a question, what is an autobiography? Autobiography is an account of a person's life written by that person. An autobiography is nothing but an account of a person's life written by that person. When you look at this title itself, it's very clear. Long Walk to Freedom. The journey towards freedom was indeed long, tiresome. It had pain, it had suffering. That is the meaning of the title itself. And look at the image of Nelson Mandela. When I looked at his image, I had a lot of thoughts that went through my mind. A person with grey hair, a senior citizen, who has lived his life, who has undergone a lot of experiences for the sake of his people. He underwent a lot of suffering, pain in order to bring about freedom for his own people, for his own soil. Therefore, he had a long span of life. He was born in 1918 and he died in 2013. Now, it's good to know some important information about Nelson Mandela, who is the author of this lesson, because what we have is an autobiography. It's good to know about the author. There are many informations which are displayed for you on the slide. I would like to just read some important things. He was born on July 18th, 1918, and he was born in Africa in a place called Transkei, and his father's name is Sadla Henry and the mother's name is Fanny. There are certain names that I'm not able to read. That's not very important for us. And he belongs to a clan called Madiba, and he did his Bachelor of Arts at Fort Hare University. That's where he met his lifelong friend Oliver Tambo. We will come to know who is he, what was his role later on. And he had experienced the system of apartheid in Johannesburg, which was forbidding the black population to vote, travel without permission, or own land. What is apartheid? We shall come to know in detail later. And I have a very detailed presentation on that, because that is the foundation on which this particular autobiography is written. And therefore, the explanation of apartheid, its implications, meanings, effects, etc., will be explained to you as soon as we complete seeing about the basic information about the author Nelson Mandela. His father died, who was the chief of Tembu clan, and after which a person called Jomkintaba became his guardian, and through him he received an excellent education. And he worked at the beginning as a guard in a mine. Okay, he had a hard life. His father died, and the guardian was the one who educated him. His name is Jomkintaba, and he worked as a guard of a mine. Okay, watchman in mine, and he was an activist with the African National Congress. He belonged to the party called Activist with the African National Congress. And he was the one opened the first legal firm in South Africa with his fellow lawyer Oliver Tambo. I told you at the beginning that he had a great relationship, lifelong friend he met when he was doing his bachelor degree of arts at Fort Hare University. And therefore together they started the first legal firm in South Africa with fellow lawyer Oliver Tambo, providing free legal counsel to many blacks. And he was convicted or charged with high treason. Treason is an attempt to overthrow the government, but that went on to run for several years. And 1964, finally, he was convicted of high treason and of a sabotage, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment at Robben Island. And during his years in prison, Nelson Mandela's reputation grew rapidly, widely accepted as the most significant black leader in South Africa, and became a symbol of resistance as the anti-apartheid movement gathered strength. And he was released on February 11th, 1990 from prison after 27 years. In 1991, he became the president of the African National Congress, and Nelson Mandela and Mr. de Klerk was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize at Norway on December 10th, 1993. And in 2001, he was diagnosed and treated for prostate cancer, and he retired from public life at the age of 85, and he died on 5th December 2013 at the age of 95 of a lung infection. A real heroic life who he lived for the sake of others, and he was responsible to plant the flag of freedom in the soil of South Africa. Since Nelson Mandela is a hero of his own autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, I have placed before you an image, a collage from the life, different phases of Nelson Mandela's life, as a child, as a young man, as a boxer, when he got married, and when he was in the old age, and when he was in leadership as the first black president of South Africa. All this goes to say that he was a very dynamic person who lived his life for the others. The essential foundation to understand the meaning of this autobiography is a concept called apartheid. If you look at your textbook, it begins with the word, the lesson begins with the word apartheid. And the book says, it is a political system that separates people according to their race. To give you a little more clarity on what is apartheid, it's a system of institutionalized racial segregation that existed in South Africa between 1948 to early 1990s. I repeat once again, what is apartheid? It is a system of institutionalized racial segregation or apartness that existed in South Africa between 1948 to early 1990s. I have placed before you a collage of pictures which will make you understand what is the meaning of this apartheid, a racial segregation that existed in South Africa. The images themselves speak and communicate the type of segregation that existed in South Africa. Look at the image. There are almost 9 pictures I have put together as a collage. The first image will speak for itself. Whites only. The seat that is kept, a wooden seat at a public place, is reserved for whites. Blacks were not supposed to sit. There is something called non-white entrance only. It is meant only for the blacks. Look at the beach and sea, whites only. It is meant only for them. Fourth image, Pretoria is one of the capital. It is one of the cities in northern part of South Africa. Okay, and you see a suburban station for non-whites, meant only for the non-whites. You look at the image of a means of transportation. It is meant only for Europeans, white people. And look at a classroom setting where black person is sitting separately and whites are sitting separately. See the difference, segregation, apartness. And look at next image, whites, only for whites. Okay. And next one you see a private property, no parking, colored waiting room. It is meant only for black colored people's waiting room. And the last image also makes it very clear for use by white people. So therefore you could see in the society that there was a segregation, there was apartness on the basis of color, on the basis of race, which was very strong and evident, and that is called apartheid. We need to understand what is apartheid. What is this racial segregation? What is this racial apartness? A system, an institutionalized system which existed in South Africa. And therefore I have given you a particular link in YouTube. Please go to this link, play this video. The speaker is an American and therefore pay kind attention, as his diction or accent could be different. And therefore you need to be very, very keenly paying attention in order to grasp what he is trying to communicate. I found this video to be very good. That gives you an overall picture about what is apartheid. And after you view the video, the second part, please view the set of slides that are being prepared in line with the video. That will give you in black and white what you have seen and heard. You can see it in the form of slide, and that will give you a very clear picture what is the meaning of apartheid, where it happened, how it happened, what were the impacts, and how apartheid was put to an end by the heroism of Nelson Mandela and certain people. Okay, please spend time, and only after you finish viewing the video, go to the setup PowerPoint slides or presentation. that will rewind the essence of video presentation in black and white. Only after that, please proceed to the next part of the lesson tomorrow. I'm sure when you viewed the video as well as the PowerPoint presentation about this great evil called apartheid, I gave you a very clear picture about the racial segregation, the racial apartness, the evil that existed in South Africa between 1948 to the early 1990s. Now let's move on to the final part of the class, namely evaluation. Having seen some information about the author of this particular autobiography titled Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom, I would like to pose certain questions for our evaluation to check our understanding of today's lesson. Question number 1, name the autobiography of Nelson Mandela. Question number 2, where did Mandela meet his lifelong friend Oliver Tambo? Question number 3, what is apartheid? What is apartheid? Question number 4, write 2 or 3 impacts of apartheid in South African soil. Question number 5, did Mandela become the president of South Africa? When and how? Please answer these questions and then let's move on to the next stage of our exposition of the lesson. Just to recap what we have seen so far today, we began a new unit number 2, a prose title, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. This Long Walk to Freedom is an autobiography written by Nelson Mandela. And I gave you enough information regarding who Nelson Mandela is, his family background, his achievements, and what he was called to do by the people of South Africa, and how he became heroic in the face of apartheid that took control of blacks in South Africa. So apartheid is a system of institutionalized racial segregation or apartness that existed in South Africa from 1948 to early 1990s. The white controlled government of South Africa created laws to keep land and wealth in the hands of whites. And there were a number of acts which were passed in favor of whites in order to establish the control of the whites over the blacks, namely Native Land Act of 1913 and 1936, Prohibition of Mixed Marriages Act of 1949, Population Registration Act of 1950, Pass Laws Act of 1952, Pandu Education Act of 1953, Separate Amenities Act of 1953, Criminal Law Amendment Act of 1953, Native Labour Act of 1953. And now what were the impacts of apartheid? First, it forced blacks to move to poor rural areas called homelands. Second, blacks could not vote. Third, blacks were kept in low paying jobs. Number 4, blacks were put in poor schools. And number 5, separate schools, separate restaurants, and separate hospitals were created for whites and blacks. And lastly, this apartheid sparked significant internal resistance and violence against South Africa. Since the 1950s, a series of popular protests were met with the banning of opposition and imprisoning of anti-apartheid leaders. As unrest became more and more violent, state organizations responded with increasing repression and state violence. And somewhere in 1990, it was Frederick William de Klerk, then president, began talks to end this great evil called apartheid. As we have come to the end of our class, I once again exhort you to play the video to understand what is apartheid. And please try to play the PowerPoint presentation and try to read every slide and try to understand the meaning of it, the impact of it, and how this evil was overcome by the great hero called Nelson Mandela. If you don't understand this particular background, you will not be able to understand the lesson and the autobiography, because the lesson that we had is an extract taken from this autobiography of Nelson Mandela titled Long Walk to Freedom. So thank you for listening. God bless you and have a good day. Bye bye.